Are we live?
Yes,
What's good?
indeed.
What's going on?
Hello.
What's happening?
Welcome. We're
What,
jumping into rap shit.
what
All
it
right.
do? Nah, man.
You ready?
Nope. Let's go.
No role models, and I'm here right now. No role models to speak of. Searching through my memory. I couldn't find one. Last night I was getting my feet rubbed by the baddest bitch. Not Trina, but I swear to God, this bitch will make you call your girl, Taylor. Hey, what's good? Sorry, I'm never coming home. I'm gonna stay for good.
That's J. Cole.
Then hang the phone up and proceed to lay the wood.
That's J. Cole. What is the name of that song? It's not GOMD. I don't remember the name of the song. No, it's not Deja Vu. Is it Deja? No, it's not Deja Vu.
The thinking face.
Yeah, I know the album 2014 Forest Hill Drive,
Okay.
classic. I know
Okay.
it's cold. It's
So that's correct. Those two things are correct. You just need the name.
damn. It's not Don't Save Her.
No.
First things first, rest in peace, Uncle Phil. Like I know the song.
You just don't know the name of the song.
I just don't know the name.
I'm really not gonna hold you.
The
I
name-
did not know the name of the song.
The name does not correlate with this. I know that for sure. I just don't remember the name. I even know the name of the song that comes after it on the album.
Okay, it's No Role Models.
Son of
I
a...
literally started the verse with that. No role models, and I'm here right now. No role models to speak of. Searching through my memory. I couldn't find one. Last night I was getting my feet rubbed
by this baddest bitch.
Yeah, that's right. Don't save her. She don't want to be saved.
Don't Save Her.
Yeah.
2014 Forest Hill Drive.
Incredible.
Classic.
Incredible album. No features.
Classic.
Masterpiece. Yeah, absolutely spectacular. I picked that song because that's how I feel about America right now. Don't save her. She don't want to be saved. She is a toxic little minx.
She's 100% toxic.
Who is not interested in what's good for her. She is just, she want what she want, and that's garbage. And so, she gonna get what she want. Period. So don't save her. Don't save her.
I mean, we live here, so please save her. Somebody. Aliens, do something.
Oh, aliens look down at the trash heap that is
Look down
the
or around.
planet
One of them.
and was like, ew. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Earth is ghetto.
Fair enough.
It just is. I mean,
Fair enough, man.
we just keep treating it like it ain't the only one we got. That's all. So welcome back, guys.
What's
oh
up?
my goodness. It's so good to see y'all.
What's up?
It's been a week. Has it been a long week for y'all? This was a long week for me. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah, it's we're in November now, and for some reason, right? For some reason, November. I always remember vividly that November, for some reason, feels so long.
It's long as hell.
Of a month. Maybe because Thanksgiving falls. It never falls when I think it is. I always think it falls.
Thanksgiving be doing this.
It do.
Like Lil' Kim. Like, I don't actually know.
I be thinking it's the third week, but it's really the sixth week of November. And it's just like, what, bro?
It's the 7th Thursday in November.
You know how many times people go, oh, Thanksgiving is next week? And you go, nah, it's the week after.
Next.
It's the week after
always
next.
The week after next.
Yeah, it's on the 32nd. It's like, how, bro? Like,
how does that go? How you figure that? How you figure that? Yeah, it's like the longest preamble to any crescendo you could ever imagine.
Yeah, and the weather be in a civil war, because at least in Georgia, it don't know what it want to be. It don't know if it want to be 70 or it want to be cold, or if it want to fully embrace the fall, or if it's still spring, or if it
will start at 36 degrees and end at 75 degrees.
100%.
It might rain at 2.
We'll have a day where it's a high of 56, and then the next day a high of 82. It's
yes.
So
I think I will develop a head cold now.
Bruh, come on, man.
I think I will get sick.
I low-key feel like I'm getting sick.
Sure. Flu.
Come on in. Yeah, it's like, come on, bro.
Come on down, bud. I haven't seen you in a while. I haven't seen you since March.
I know, man.
Come on back. let's hang out for a little bit. Let's
Crazy.
watch Harry Potter and drink some soup.
And you know, you got it's the season. You wanna watch. You know, you want to rewatch Stranger Things. You want to rewatch Harry Potter.
Oh.
You want to rewatch all of these cozy type movies and series and just Game of Thrones. I can't watch Game of Thrones in the summer. I gotta watch it.
Not appropriate
In the dark
because
when
winter
it's cold.
is coming.
Exactly.
What are you saying?
Come on, man.
Like, let's get on with it.
Yeah, just figure it out, Georgia.
Yeah.
You know? So
it don't really get cold here until February.
Well, February is the coldest month in Georgia, but it used to be cold. I remember going to homecomings, like going to Spellhouse homecomings, which was in October, and I remember going when it was really cold. But I also remember going when it was hot. Like, it's so strange, and it's the same week, more or less.
Like 5 years ago, I was definitely wearing shorts one Christmas outside. Like, I was just like, what's going on?
It's weird, yo.
What's happening right now?
And that's happening all over the world, but you know, climate change ain't real. So
no, not at all.
Not even a little bit. No. What?
We don't influence the environment at all. These are all normal occurrences. Anywho's'll be. Well, we're happy to have you guys back here.
Welcome back.
If this is your first time here, thank you. Welcome. My name is Alia King, and this is my husband,
Kara King.
You know, and you have tuned into the One Thing for Certain podcast. If you happen to stumble across our page, or if a friend told you, you know what, you should check them out, hey.
And give that friend a hug.
Give them a hug.
For putting you on.
They just introduced you to your new favorite friends, to your new favorite married couple.
We may not be friends yet, but we will be, hopefully.
We will be. We work our way in. You know what I'm saying? We grow on you. You feel me? So if you're into that, if you're into like seeing where this relationship can take us, because I really think there's some untapped potential there. I'd like to see where this could go. You know, hit that subscribe button. Hit that like. Comment.
Share.
Tell a friend to tell a friend. Share that thing. Don't be scared to share it. Don't be scared. Okay? It's all right. We won't bite. Yeah, and we talk about all the things that married people like to talk about. If you're not sure what that really entails, it really is a curriculum of...
Come on, curriculum.
Whatever the fuck we feel like talking about, okay? It's just what we're catching up. You know what I'm saying? We busy working peoples. And if you like dogs, we got one. His name is Rolo. He's real sweet, and he likes to make guest appearances sometimes so he can get his neck scratches. Okay. But yeah, without further ado, we're going to get into the things, okay? We are going to kick this sucker off the way we always do with our current obsessions, okay? This is whatever's been living rent-free in our head for the past week, honey.
Yep.
And go ahead and you can start.
Oh, I can start? Okay, cool.
Yeah, go for it.
So, my current obsession this week is last week I had went on a I guess, you know, a guy's trip. Yeah. And we went to Vegas. This is my second time going to Vegas ever in my life. The first time, did we go in July?
Yes, we did.
Correct.
Like fools, we went in July.
We went to Vegas in July for my first time this year, and it was 116 degrees when we landed, which was interesting. But also this time around, it was so different because again, it is November, and so it was cold.
Yeah,
it was like real cold. It was like 40 degrees when I landed at night. Like 50 degrees during the day.
That's
no humidity.
Just
pretty
a high
much.
of 50. Yeah, I mean, because you're in the desert, there's no relative humidity, and so that basically means there's no moisture in the air to keep the heat trapped inside.
So going to Vegas, for those who don't know, in Vegas, there's all these kind of things to do. Vegas has kind of rewritten itself as a more family kind of entertainment kind of place instead of what it was known. Yeah, it used to be known as like the Sin City. You go in there to do debaucherous things and stuff like that.
Gamble and whore.
To gamble and whore, I guess.
Gamble and whore.
But my current obsession is the Sphere in Vegas. I'll try to put a picture up. But the Sphere is basically this dome structure that's in the middle of Vegas. on the Strip. It's huge. It's has a lot of screens on it that are super high definition, and because it's a dome, it can kind of create and make itself whatever it wants. You know, sometimes they have it's a basketball or a big ass eye, or they put movie trailers on it, and it's high definition. You can see it from like the plane as you're landing. Like you can see it from a mile away. And so within the sphere, you would think like externally, like that's just all of it. Like, oh, it's just a structure. Nah, it's actually a stadium. You know, I think it seats.
It's like a theater.
It's a theater. I think it seats like 18,000 or something like that, 15 to 18,000 people. And they have all kinds of different shows in there. And the technology on the outside is just as dope as the technology on the inside. If anything, the inside's even cooler because, again, it's a
dome within a dome.
It's a dome within a dome. And so they have these multiple screens on the inside that gives you this kind of experience, coupled with like this new sound technology that they have that gives you this immersive 4D experience. And we went to go see a Postcard to Earth, which is like the standard show that you can see that kind of gives you a good idea of all of like the capabilities of this new stadium. And it's the coolest thing. I think it should be considered one of the wonders of the world, personally. Because it's such a feat in technology. It's such a feat in sound. There's an equation that they have embedded in like some of the walls on the inside, and at some of the kiosks, that is the equation for the sound and how they figured it out, because it's all new and innovative, high definition pictures that they can show and stuff like that. So it was just a cool experience. I will go back to Vegas just for that. Like, it was really cool. And it's not just like these types of films that they show. They've had like boxing matches in there, concerts in there, like. And me and the homies that were talking, well, my Milan brothers, we were talking, and it was like, man, what kind of like concerts would we go to see in there? Like, if we saw a Travis Scott concert in there, we'd probably have like a seizure or something.
I had a feeling you were gonna say him.
Oh man, it would be incredible. It's not big enough for him, but I would do 3 shows in a weekend. You know, make up the ticket count. It would be dope.
Who would I want to see in concert?
In the Sphere?
Something like the Sphere. You know,
Beyonce is another one. Anyone that does cool things with images in their concert, put them in the Sphere, because
I'd probably say like Missy Elliott.
Oh my God, to see Super Duper Fly on the damn what you call it? Come on, bro. That shit, and the fisheye lens that she used in that video is already like kind of it would have been dope.
Who got the keys to the Jeep?
Yeah, so that's my current obsession, man. It was really cool being out there, and that Sphere thing. It's just, I'm a nerd, so they had like 3D projector, huge 3D projectors in there too. Showcase.
They basically were like holograms.
Yeah, they're basically like holograms, and so it just really cool stuff, technology wise.
I'm glad you had a good time. I can't wait to go back so I can experience that with you, because that sounds fire. Yeah. Okay, my current obsession is It Strikes Again. Shrinking is so good.
Apple
Shrinking,
TV.
season 2 on Apple TV. Absolutely fire. You guys have heard me talk about it before. It's basically a show that follows a shrink named Jimmy, who cares very deeply about his patients and is guilty of not establishing boundaries as a therapist, and gets what one might say entirely too involved in his patient's life. But he is truly dedicated to making their lives better while also navigating the difficult world of like grieving as a man who has lost his wife to a car accident just a year prior, and raising a teenage daughter. So surrounded by his, really close friends and neighbors, and his own therapist and boss, played by
Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford, yeah. So this past week's episode was really good because it dealt a lot with like unresolved, like, I don't want to say trauma, but like unresolved like conflicts that you may have with your parents, right? So the one of his clients is I guess retired.
He's a
vet.
He's a vet. Yeah.
He's a vet who suffers from PTSD, and it manifests itself in these really violent outbursts that he has whenever in a type of conflict. And he essentially blacks out. He just turns into the Hulk, blacks out, and kicks whoever is next to him their ass, like real good. And he recently had a like conflict with his dad that actually triggered these events that happened for him. He absolutely loves his father. He thinks he is an incredible man. However, in the fashion of, boomer dads, right? Men born like somewhere in the 60s, he has a hard time articulating himself and his feelings and being able to be emotionally vulnerable with his son who is suffering with PTSD. And so he, confessed that a big part of his trigger is actually being around his dad, which is really difficult because he absolutely loves him. But when he opened up to him about the struggles that he had with his PTSD, his dad kind of shrugged it off. He hit him with the, you just gotta tough it out and see it through and you'll be okay. And, he kind of shrugged it off. And it was really hard for him to even admit that he needed help. And because of the severity of the trauma that he was dealing with and how disappointed he was in his dad's inability to really see him in that moment.
His dad also kicked him out.
Right, at his lowest point, which is when he was acting out and getting arrested repeatedly for getting into physical altercations. His dad felt as though he was enabling him by allowing him to stay under his roof.
Good old tough love, right?
It's a big, big tough love kind of attitude that happened there. And surprise, surprise, it exacerbated the issue. And so it essentially resulted in him getting into another altercation, but he didn't fight back. He basically put himself in a situation where he got jumped and very nearly got beaten to death.
Yeah, for sure.
Very nearly got beaten to death.
Yeah.
And even then, I mean, I don't want to ruin the entire episode.
He wanted to see his dad after, while he was recovering, and his dad didn't.
He didn't want to see him.
He didn't want to see him.
Yeah.
And so that, I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I personally don't.
Another one of the characters had not necessarily a conflict with her parent, but the result of the contentious relationship between her parent drove a significant wedge between her and her sister. Right, and their inability to really communicate and like reconcile their differences. So it was a really, really good episode, like dealing with some super hard, and that's not even the highest. That's not even the most.
It's like 4 pairs of parents because Harrison Ford's character and his daughter, obviously Jimmy and his daughter by default, and
who ends up meeting up with the guy.
Oh yeah, that killed her mom.
Yeah, the drunk driver that killed her mom. Yeah. It is so good, y'all.
Really good episode. I don't even know. Is that 4 or 5? Maybe, I don't know what episode it was. It was a lot
because then Liz had her thing with her son.
Yeah. I mean, her son just...
And then, y'all, we don't want to ruin it but
it's a good show.
The show is so good. The show is so good. It's a good show. Really...
I think we talked about it.
We have. Yeah. We talked about it. But that's why it's my current obsession again. It's just like...
Really good, man.
I sit there and I just soak it all up, and I'm just like, and say more, unpack that. Why do you feel that way? Oh, that's classic passive aggression. Like it's so good to really see real mature issues that people deal with every day almost not like shrouded entirely in like the messiness of miscommunication and like lack of truth and brevity of like your actual emotions.
Closer to the mic.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's like a lot of times when you see people struggling with certain things emotionally, you don't actually like, it's really hard to get to the root of why it is that they're acting and behaving the way that they are, because it's always shrouded in like some type of like chauvinism or passive aggressiveness or overcompensation or, you know, boastfulness or arrogance. It's always like coated. Like, people are like onions. There's a lot of layers. There's a lot of issues that could be stemming from the root of your problem. This show wipes all of that away, and you get right to the heart of the problem really quickly in the show. So anyway, I'm gushing, but that's my current obsession. It's
Dope.
so good.
It's really
Such
good.
a great show. Really been enjoying this season. So we have a Are We in Like or Love, y'all.
We do.
Speaking of emotional stuff,
Man.
speaking of like mental health,
Yep.
speaking of uncovering the layers, we had the opportunity to watch Meg Thee Stallion's documentary on Amazon.
Yeah,
on Amazon Prime.
On Amazon Prime.
In her own words.
Yeah.
Meg Thee Stallion documentary.
Yeah. I mean, I watched it once by myself, and then with you.
I've watched it twice now.
Oh yeah. Okay. Cool. So, great documentary. She's kind of walking through, just not just her like start of her career and kind of where she came from and how she got to where she got to, because I know sometimes it kind of feels like these people just popped up out of nowhere. It's not true. But there's also, you know, kind of addressing how she's had to navigate her life and career through like different friendships, and, you know, talking through with her mom and how important her mom was to her unfortunately losing her mom. And then
I feel like it was a pretty good retelling of her, like a biopic of her life, or it's a documentary, not a biopic.
Yeah, it's a documentary.
But like of her life from the beginning to now. Like, I think it pretty much covers the highlights.
Yeah. And I would say like the first, it split up really cool. Like the first maybe 30 minutes of it, it's like, oh wow, okay, this is where Meg came from, et cetera, et cetera. Talks about, you know, growing up in Houston, growing up as a little girl with her mom being a rapper, how she, you know, loved her mom and looked at her mom as like the coolest person in the world. Talks about her father, talks about growing up and being super tall and, you know, just having to kind of navigate being picked on and things like that. But then her kind of turning up in like college and high school after she's getting like her writing done. And then everything is somewhat normal up until that point as far as like a biopic is concerned, because I watch a lot of, not biopic, but documentaries.
Yes.
About maybe like halfway through, a little bit less than halfway through, the next maybe 40 minutes of it is like, you know, her walking through how she got to know Tory. For those who may not know or live under a rock, like Meg and Tory Lanez and the friend Kelsey was in a situation where Meg ended up getting shot, and Tory ended up going to jail. Super compressed that.
Yeah.
But she's kind of walking through her emotions through that, having to deal with social media and the depression and how it just kind of spun her life around a bit. And so the next, you know, those last couple, you know, 40 minutes kind of addressing the court case and then what was going on social media and how it impacted her. You know, sad stuff.
Yeah.
Really sad to see her kind of talk about that, but really good to get her side of the story in her own, you know, in her words. So I mean, I love it. If we're going to talk about like and love, I always will appreciate documentaries like that, because to me it felt like a honest attempt at being genuine, even though there's cameras in front of you and you're trying to like tell this story. But it's hard.
Yeah.
Like it was you can see it on her face. Like she's just, what I got from that, which I didn't need to know, but it was good to kind of get the validation or just like the context and confirmation of
Yeah.
it. Bro, Meg is a regular girl, bro. She just so happened to look like that, be that tall,
Yeah.
and also be that talented. But she's a regular girl, bro. Like with regular feelings, like, and
She's a person.
She's just a person, and I always like appreciate seeing people in that light, and appreciate them putting themselves out there like that, because she did not have to do that shit. She crying all over the place and stuff, trying to talk about her mom, and she's sharing this with the world, even though the world don't really fuck with her in that way sometimes. Like she put out all of this stuff, and then she gets all this hate back. A lot of love too, but all of this hate for who she is just because of, you know, what. So yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I ditto. I think, well, for one, I loved the documentary.
Dope.
I did.
Dope.
I loved it.
Good body of work.
I thought it was a good body of work. I thought it was a really like good comprehensive retelling of her life up until this point. I really enjoyed understanding like Meg before Meg. I actually didn't know a lot about her prior to her, like, you know, breaking into the industry and, you know,
Meg and
coming
Pete.
out with Big Ol' Freak. You know, like that was
That launched her,
honestly
yeah.
my first introduction to Meg Thee Stallion. She wasn't somebody that I was following prior to that. And so to understand more about her past, her mom, how her mom passed, how quickly and sudden it was, the time in which she lost her, which was literally right when she got famous. Right when she started to pop, her mom dies. Or her mom was her everything. She was her
North
manager.
Star.
She was her coach. She gave her advice. She was her best friend. She went everywhere with her. She did everything with her. She looked to her for guidance and instruction on literally everything. And right when she on some right when she needed her the most, she vanished. Like it was just, she passed. And it was and the manner in which she died and how she, you know, retold that story was devastating. Absolutely devastating from them. And I was like, anything she does after this is an act of God. Like, because there are people who are not famous, who do not have millions of people critiquing them, criticizing them, judging them.
Every second of the day.
Every second of every day without the support, like with the support of their parents. Like very few people even can survive that space. Imagine losing the most important person in your life right when that happened, like right when all of your dreams started to come true. And then the dark side of those dreams, right? The hate, the wave of like
you get
general disdain.
Yeah, you get washed up in
like
all this stuff.
She was very transparent. She was lost. She was going through a lot. She was seeking friendship and like compassion and validation. She said that one of the first reasons why like her and Tory even connected is because he talked about losing his mother as well. Yeah. And like they bonded over that trauma. And, you know, it was during the pandemic.
Yep.
And, you know, their relationship or friendship or what have you, and, you know, ensued, and everything that happened after that in her assault, and everything that she like depicted of like where she was mentally and what was happening and how she was receiving this information, just constantly being inundated with this hatred for a situation that escalated so quickly and so extremely. She had a hard time even processing what happened to her, like in the trauma. And then imagine taking your absolute worst moment, having everyone see it, not believe that it happened to you, okay? And then wish that it was worse.
Oh God.
And then wish that you're at your darkest moment that it had actually been darker. To see videos of complete strangers, men who do not know Meg, say that Tory should have aimed higher.
Yeah, I think people
that he should have killed her.
I think people who flippantly talk about, because I'm gonna be honest, I'm a man, so I have naturally friends who are men. Okay,
No.
I'm in certain group me's and stuff, and when all that went down, there was some conversations that were happening, and I think when you flippantly talk about these things, people assume that like they're talking in like this vacuum, and it's important to watch the perspective of like the person that is giving you the account, aside from the fact that it was on video, like of her being on the ground, and there was stuff in her feet and all these other things. But for you people don't ignore how like social media is so terrible, and people will be like, oh, people wasn't even saying all that stuff, you're getting all this love and da da da. The documentary did a very good job of citing their sources in terms of
just
video after video
of not just
people who don't believe
people
her
commenting on her, people on social media commenting on the situation, her contemporaries, other rappers, other people in the music industry, other singers, other producers, other people also saying that what she's saying was not true, saying that she wasn't assaulted, or if she was, that there's something that she did to essentially deserve
people
it,
with large platforms.
That behavior. People try to essentially affirm that because of her relationship, sexual or not, with Tory Lanez, that somehow justified what happened to her.
Right.
As if women who are in relationships cannot be abused, or people who are in situationships cannot be abused, or somehow that excuses it.
I'm not the brightest crown in the box, but isn't that is that conflation? Conflating two things, where it's just like, oh, she was shot because she had relations with this person, so those two things match up when they don't. Is that conflation?
Not necessarily. I know what you're trying to say.
I'm trying to say?
I think
y'all hear me, right?
Like, what is it?
Causality doesn't mean, is that the phrase?
Like causation isn't the same as, don't give me the line. Right, somebody tell us what it is in the comments, for real.
Y'all know what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to be smart here.
I think what you're saying is true, but I wouldn't call it conflating.
Okay.
I would say that it's just good old fashioned
nigga shit. So, okay.
Wow, babe.
It's true.
Misogyny, right? I don't think people understand how much we perpetuate misogyny. It is just clear that if a woman says that something happened to her, that the automatic assumption is that she's lying. And people will say, oh, that's
did
not
something
true,
to
because
cause
the whole
it.
Me Too era is a reflection that a woman can say anything and be believed. No, it's actually the opposite. It means that because of the rampant misogyny and sexism and power struggle and dynamic between men and women, that women are typically classified as vindictive, lying, hysterical, spiteful, vengeful. There's hell hath no word fury like a woman scorned.
Ironically aggressive.
So aggressive, and then compounded with the fact that she is a black woman who celebrates her own sexuality and
is beautiful.
Desire, like how desirable she is. You add the kind of femme fatale portion to it, and the fact that she is so desperately wanted by so many men, they celebrated the fact that she was abused, that she was taken down a peg. Like, how dare you? See, you thought you were all that. Oh, that WAP didn't save you. Like, it's just all this type of energy, and I think people don't understand how pervasive misogyny is in our society and how deeply rooted those ideologies are. Because even when you're speaking to someone who doesn't believe that they are perpetuating misogynistic ideas. The fact that you are looking, there was a recording of Tory Lanez apologizing for shooting Meg. The only thing he didn't say.
Oh, he called from
when he
from
called
jail.
from jail.
Yeah.
And he called Kelsey.
He called Kelsey.
And he basically said, I know she's never going to speak to me again. I'm so sorry. I get crazy when I'm drunk. Da-da-da. People are like, oh, well, you know, that doesn't mean that he shot her. He could have been sorry for the argument that happened between the both of them because it was clear that Tory was taking them both down. So they was arguing with each other. And Meg don't even know who shot her because her back was turned. So, da-da-da-da-da. And the point of the fact of the matter is, okay, if you didn't shoot somebody, okay, why would you go to jail for not shooting somebody? There's plenty of guys out there who don't like women. Let me talk to y'all real quick. Man. If you see two bitches arguing, right, and there's only 4 people in the car, one of which is the victim, so she ain't shoot herself.
And one of them vanished. They can't find
one of which, again,
the driver
vanished in like
thin air, boy.
Like the Avatar. We ain't seen this nigga since.
No.
Okay, he's in Bora Bora or something, right? And then you have the 2 other people in the car, right? One of which claims that he did not shoot this woman, so that only leaves one other person.
Mm-hmm.
If you see 2 women arguing and one of them is allegedly responsible for shooting the other, since that's your claim, that's your story, that you didn't shoot her, so only one other person in the car could have, okay, why wouldn't you say that? Is it because I don't give up, it's not my problem?
Mm-hmm.
B, I already told you I hate women, so again, why is it a problem? Or C, I was actually fucking to both of them. The final one found out, got pissed off, called me names, and tried to leave, and I got mad, so I shot that bitch.
Yeah.
Comment below which one you think it is. Like, it's just stupid. He shot her. He shot her.
Yeah.
He shot her. He shot her.
Yeah, I mean,
and he went to jail.
It's possible that Kelsey could have done that.
Then why not say that?
The only thing I would say to people who believe Tory didn't do it, why would he go to jail for something that he didn't do to save a girl that he was just fucking? And then moreover, I think people forget this part because he is American presenting. He is not American.
He's not. He is
Canadian. Canadian. I'm not sure, but whether
he is not a citizen of America.
I'm not sure if he was a citizen of, well, I know he's not, because they said that once he's done with his time, he has to go back to
get extradited.
Canada, and he's not going to be able to come back here. So with all of that, added punishment that every immigrant knows, like, you can't get into, you have a gun that you're not supposed to have. So, like, why would you, like, Tory, you Caribbean, like, come on now. Like, we know how this go.
Say
don't
who did it. And if you're saying, oh, he didn't want to,
you don't have the luxury,
go down for snitching.
You don't have the luxury to be a hero in this
is telling
story.
The truth about 2 girls getting into it. How does that make you a snitch? I'm confused.
As soon as I saw that gun, I'd have ran out that car. If he didn't shoot her, I'm just saying, like, if he didn't, the logic doesn't make sense to go down for something and go down in that magnitude, because he's not just going to jail. Once he's out, he has to go back to Canada. They're going to take him.
The idea that, like, somehow he will lose his street cred for being truthful about the fact that he didn't shoot her.
Who cares? You trying to get deported, bro? Like, that's not cool.
Again, you gonna lose out on money. You gonna serve jail time for a girl that is not your girl and who does not have nearly as much to lose as you do. There are people who are screaming free Tory at the top of their lungs. They already believe that you didn't do it, with all the evidence pointing to the fact that you do. So if you would have said that girl shot her and she actually did, guess what? They would have believed you, because they believe you now, which is asinine to me. So anyway, I say all of that to say that, for one, let the record show that I always believed her. I never doubted that man did not shoot her. I never doubted that she lied about the fact that she was assaulted by him. It was perplexing the amount of time that transpired between the time of her assault and when she actually came out and said it. And she explained, what that was about as well.
Tory is out on bail and, before the trial, because the trial took a minute. It was like a year.
But when they did more of the background of like how he was essentially antagonizing her, like how she had a restraining order out on him.
Yeah.
The songs that he made an entire album
popped up
about he popped her whatever she was, like, messaging her and things like that. It was just really clear how alarming that relationship was, and the back and forth that was ensuing on social media was really messed up. Then her talking about her like mental breakdown after all of that, and even them showing the moment where he was convicted and how she just basically broke down and how vindicated and liberated she felt after that. So
it was a great doc.
It was a really, really good doc. It was
cool
good
to get her
see that
perspective on it.
Yeah, to finally get her perspective on it. And all in all, I really just wish the best for her and her mental health, because I can tell you one thing, after seeing just a snippet of all of the all of the things that she's gone through and all of the public outrage and like vitriol that she receives on a regular basis, fame is not worth it. I can tell you that for free. Like, I would rather be here on my good old regular self, than be that level of famous to just receive that much hate on a regular basis. Like, these people are unwell. Some of the things that people have said about her is just really horrible.
Last thing I'll say about this too, shout out to the animation that she put in there. Meg is a nerd. That's another again, regular girl, regular smegular degular. Shout out to Cardi. Like, she's a big anime head, and like she had a few moments in there where she kind of had some animation of her like first writing her bars and like her looking up to her mom and seeing her mom in the mirror, and like, so there was like good threads of that shown there too, like artistically, I just thought that was really cool too.
Yeah, I like the sequence that they showed of like how they depicted when she talked about what she went through when she went through her bout of depression and she started having suicidal ideations. That entire segment was just animation. And that part I think was really powerfully done.
Yep.
It was really good. So like I said, I wish her the best.
Shout out to Beck, man.
Shout out to her. I've always been a fan.
And
I think
over everything else too.
Girl.
She fire ass rapper too.
That girl be rap. Okay, you gotta go for us, babe.
Indeed. So
let's hear it.
I hope this is something that you can like get in on. Okay. One's gotta go. Candyman, Leatherface, Pennywise, The Creeper, Jeepers Creepers.
Oh, okay. One's gotta go.
Yeah. So for this one, which one of these would you rather not deal with? Right.
Can you say them one more time?
Candyman, Leatherface, Pennywise, The Creeper, Jeepers Creepers.
I think for me, I'm going to say Pennywise.
Oh, you don't want to deal with Pennywise?
I'm not fucking with Pennywise. All the other ones I really do feel like I can avoid, right? Like Jeepers Creepers. You know how I feel about corn mazes, right?
Yeah.
I'm never...
Fair enough.
If anyone ever said, oh my God, you won't believe where I saw Aaliyah in a corn maze, they are a liar. They are a liar, because you would never catch me in, around, or about, okay, a corn maze. They're evil. There's no reason to go in one. If I want corn, I'll get it from the grocery store, okay? So I won't ever encounter Jeepers Creepers, because I'm not going to be in no middle of Arkansas, driving through Indiana, or making my way through the pastures of Oklahoma. I'm not going to be nowhere in middle America, okay? So that's one.
So you get rid of
Leatherface. Again, they be out there in the outskirts
Shout
of
out
town.
to Texas, yeah.
So I don't be out there. Okay, there's no reason. So I can avoid those places. Pennywise, he just come from. Let me tell you something. The first time I saw it,
Oh
and I'm
my
talking about the
god.
original
One of
It.
the okay, never mind.
Okay,
I
the
take it back.
original It.
Yeah, the one from the 70s.
I didn't walk past storm drains for 2 years. Every time I saw one,
Scary as fuck.
I went smooth around it. I would never get within 4 to 5 feet of a storm drain, ever, for 2 years, because I saw that little son of a bitch popping his head out, talking to a little boy underneath the. What you doing down there, Mr. Clown Man? Absolutely not. And
One of the greatest scary movies ever.
yeah, I think the It remakes
Period.
were incredible.
Both of those movies.
I was shooketh.
Yeah.
Shooketh.
Terrifying.
The way he can make himself super big, like out of nowhere, and when he unhinges his jaw like something out of The Mummy and has like 60,000 teeth.
And his
pop
eyes
out.
go cross-eyed.
Oh my God. And he starts to drool.
Nah, bro. I don't want no problems with
Yuck.
Pennywise either.
And the fact that he exclusively eats children. Fuck Pennywise. He's the worst. He's the worst, bro. He's the worst.
Yeah.
Which one would you pick?
You know, I feel like I think I would rather not deal with the creeper.
Okay.
Because I feel like as a person who on occasion would like to go on road trips and stuff,
Yeah.
I just feel like you could encounter him. We live in Georgia, so they're on occasion they're all roads. Like if you go to Covington or Conyers or something, there are these roads that can look. It can get a little.
creepery.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's, oh no, I have a flat tire, and now
Isn't
you're
he like just
disappearing.
a giant like grasshopper? Like that's what he looks like. He's just he has like
I don't know.
these big wings. Like he's just this big bug looking thing that just comes and picks you up out of the sky and essentially cannot be shot or killed
Fam,
except for with fire.
I tell you, pick you up out of the sky like you ain't like a
like a hawk with a squirrel.
Yeah, I feel like Pennywise. So for Pennywise, the reason why I wouldn't choose Pennywise is because just like Freddy Krueger, the key, and I'm not saying I would be good at this.
No,
I'm not.
no.
The key to defeating him
is not being scared of him.
is not being scared of him.
Which is ridiculous because he knows exactly what you're afraid of.
True.
He knows what that's the part. He knows what your worst fear is. You know what level of Jedi mind tricks you have to have in order to not be afraid of Pennywise. That's why they need their friends together to remind them and to ground them that they're not actually in the danger that they're perceiving that they're in, right? Yeah. But if you're alone by yourself, there's no defending.
Yeah, like, I could deal with Leatherface because Leatherface is confined more or less to one house in a random ass town.
Just don't fall
in Texas. So all I got to do is avoid the road that because once you get on, that's the other thing though. Once you get on that road, whatever that road, because it's a real place.
Isn't this basically the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, guys?
Yes, that's Texas. Yeah, it's a real. It's a real story.
The way he know how to throw that chainsaw. Once you are in his like crosshairs, you're gonna die.
Well,
if he sees you, he's gonna kill you.
It's everything surrounding Leatherface. That's what I'm saying. Like, all you have to do is avoid. Let's just call it Highway 19.
Okay.
If you make the right onto Highway 19 and pass the sign, you're dead because everyone in that town, and when I say everyone, it's like 8 people. 4 of them live in that house with him. One of them is a sheriff.
Yes.
As soon as you get on that road, it's over. You're gonna get pulled over.
They are.
They're gonna tell you to go to this house, and then it's over. It's a wrap.
Yeah,
it's a wrap. It's a wrap. So I feel like you make the left instead of the right at the light. I think you'll be okay.
That's what I'm saying. If I'm not in that hood, if I'm not in that part of the yard, like I'm not gonna get got.
Yeah, I think Candyman can be avoided. I don't remember what it is that triggers Candyman to come.
You just don't say his name 5 times in the mirror.
Boom.
That's all you
That's
have
what it
to
is.
do.
Oh, it's easy.
You just don't have to play games.
Yeah, stop playing.
Don't
stop
take
being
penitentiary
stupid.
Chances.
Word.
Don't F around and find out. It's basically the whole thing. Like, he's the one scary person who's like, don't fuck with me, I won't fuck with you.
Exactly. The creeper don't care nothing about that.
I'm hungry.
That's it. There is nothing you can do about that.
He would just yank you up by your ponytail, huh?
So yeah, I feel like I could do it. I think the creeper can stay over there.
Yeah, creeper just okay, cool. Fair enough. Tell us in the comments below which
one would you choose?
You would feel like has to go. Okay. All right, babe. So I have.
You might be able to end with this one.
Okay, I have a member one.
Cool.
So, do you remember, like, when you were a kid, you had your friend groups and stuff like that. Do you remember the grimiest thing you've ever seen happen in one of your friend groups where you were just like, yo, y'all are crazy, fam? What's going on?
Do you want me to go or do you want to go?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, knock it out.
All right, so story time. So high school, right? I was in a friend group of like 8 or 9 maybe. Equal amount of girls and boys. And the girl I was dating at the time had 2 best friends, right? And so one of her best friends starts dating a guy.
Okay.
Cool.
Typical.
It's high school dating, so it's dramatic. Oh my God, he's the best. Da 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 da.
We're gonna get married. Yeah.
Right. All of the things.
For sure.
From when the time me and my homeboys found out about it, we were like, we don't really like that nigga. Ain't gonna hold you. Like we didn't like him from the jump because he was in the neighborhood. This is again high school. He's in the neighborhood that we don't like.
Oh, y'all were set tripping.
Yes, unfortunately in Georgia back in the early 2000s or mid early 2000s, that was a very prevalent thing where kids were fighting over their neighborhoods like they were territory. Be that as it may, he lived in a neighborhood that we didn't like, so we didn't like any of the kids in that neighborhood. Specifically that one though. Okay. And so off rip, that was just a thing. She didn't care, right?
Yeah, because that's dumb.
Right. So she's dating. So they're dating. Whatever. We're screw faced during this time. Now, we find out that the girl I was dating at the time, her other best friend, right, also is kind of attracted to this guy, but it doesn't matter, right? Because
these 2 best friends know each other.
They're best friends.
Oh, so this is okay. This is a best friend trio in which your girlfriend has 2 best friends that are also best friends with each other. Okay.
Correct. So
we got a little Destiny's Child over here. Gotcha.
So yeah, she kind of likes him too. That pissed us off because newsflash, that best friend, we also kind of liked her too.
So y'all were just jealous.
She was yes. Okay. Yes, we were jealous high school boys.
I love how all of your stories start with being jealous of another.
Hey man,
young
we were just like, what the? Cause after a while, it's like, all right, you got that one, fine. And it's, she's a part of our group. So when she was getting pulled away from a group that we don't even fuck, we were like, yo, what's going on, bro? No. Where are you? Like, we're supposed to be hanging out, man. We watched Twilight together. What's up?
Twilight.
What's good, bro? We done went. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I had a girl, so it's fine. But we didn't like it. Then we found out that other short. We was like, God damn. We was trying to get her set up with one of the other guys in our friend. We was like, y'all, come over here. Stay over here in this ecosystem. Stay over here. Nah, she wasn't trying to hear it. They break up, and she was like, well, started kind of, yep, she kind of wandered her way. And we were just looking at this dude like, are you fucking serious, bro?
Yeah.
How did you get, what's going on, fam?
Yeah, I got game, cuz.
I even had to tell I said, yo, how does he do, how are you allowing this to, say something to them? You not going, how are you going to let, and then they all cool with it. And I'm just like, we could never get away with no.
Oh, it wasn't an issue between the 2 of them because of it?
Not as much as it should have been, damn it.
That's hilarious.
There was no smoke.
I thought that
considering
end up with the smoke.
And what's ironic about it is, they all, not me, because I had, my girl already.
He was community peeing.
Yeah, but that's fun though. When you were a kid, you're like, that's cool. Like he got, I don't know. So I thought that was
kind of. That's grimy. If nobody ended up upset about it,
man, it's grimy, bro.
It's just funny because y'all was jealous.
I don't think that was cool, bro.
Big salty.
It's not right. You know what I'm saying? It's not right.
Like
taking both. You take both, and then the girl was fine too. It's just like, come on, bro. Like this not for. This is supposed to be.
If they was real sisters.
That's not right. And then one time they would. I ain't want to talk that story. But but yeah, I thought that
you
was.
You got upset.
Nah, I don't like it. I still don't like it to this day. I don't like it. I can't believe that happened to that boy like that. Like
he's just a lucky kid. He must have been a handsome fella. He was alright.
Whatever, bro. Whatever,
that is
bro.
So funny, bro. Yeah, it's okay, babe. I think you're doing all right. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. So for me, I think the grimiest thing I've ever witnessed in a friend group, gosh, it got really real really quick for us in our friend group.
What age is this?
11th grade.
Cool.
In high school. So
what a time.
I had a guy friend who had a girlfriend, and they had this like star-crossed romance. Like his best friend hooked him up with her, and they seemed like the belle of the ball. They were so obsessed with each other. They were always around each other. They were always making out in the hallway. We were always like, get a room. You guys are disgusting. You're constantly all over each other. No one is this in love with anybody.
High school,
It's gross. It's enough. Like we were all like, they're going to get married.
Oh, God.
It was ridiculous, right? It was also wild because the girl, I thought she was just absolutely beautiful. Like in the very like stereotypical kind of high school pretty girl kind of thing. She was petite. She was like light skinned. She had like greenish hazel eyes. She had like this long hair. And what was cool is that her parents let her dye her hair. So she had like this really dope like blonde ombre John going on before ombre was even a thing. Like the like blonde tips that went up to, it was crazy. She looked like something out of like a TV show. She had like big boobs for back then, you know, like a girl with a C cup was like, whoa, like you have boobs. Like she was just a really pretty girl. And then like one of our friends got with her. We were like, like, you know what I'm saying? Like it was,
that's dope.
He was her, she was his dream girl. Like nobody thought that like they would ever get together because he was like kind of nerdy, but he was super sweet and smart and stuff like that. Just a really cool dude. And but you know, real intense romances seem to burn up in flames. So
especially in high school,
they got into, I actually don't know what the like cause of this fight was that they had, but they had a very public fight in like the hallway.
Oh, in school. Damn.
And my guy friend actually like ended up like hitting her.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You talking about the dude she was with?
Yes.
My
friend.
Oh no.
And I heard about it and I confronted him. And I was like, so I heard that you and your girl got into a fight. And he was like, yeah. I was like, somebody told me that they saw it and that it was pretty bad. He was like, yeah. And I was like, this person told me that you hit her. And I said, that can't be possible. Like, my friend would never do that. And he was like, I did. I was stunned. When I tell you, like, heartbroken, I was like, I can't be your friend anymore. Like, why would wild. You do it? It just escalated so quickly.
Did he get suspended for that?
Because it happened really quick.
Damn.
And like everybody just kind of like ran off or whatever. And like Shorty's crying, but everybody's just thinking that it's because they got into an argument.
Damn.
Or whatever, and that they broke up. And the part that's so insane, you know, they got back together.
I mean, that's not that insane.
It's just like, to me, it was just so wild because they continue to have like this really cantankerous relationship. And then like eventually they get like pregnant. And like,
that's how I be.
it felt like a Maury Povich episode. And when I tell you, this young man, bright, like straight A's, super smart, like, you know, the captain of his athletic team, just
damn.
And I was like, this girl got you bent up, bro. You're about to ruin your life. You are going to ruin your life, bro. Stop. You addicted. You addicted to getting punched in the face. Like, it was just insane. I couldn't believe it. We were just kids. Like, we were just like 16 going on 17. Like,
yeah, I mean, that's unacceptable still.
It was, babe. I was literally heartbroken. I was just like,
and you didn't see it?
No, I heard. That's why I confronted him, because I was like, I need you to clear this up for me. Somebody said that you got into an argument with your girl, and they said that it escalated to the point where you struck her. And he was just looking at me, and he was like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I did. And I was just like,
damn, bro.
My world rocked. I talked to him every day.
Damn.
He was my homie. And I was like, you striking women, bro.
That's nuts.
You slapping shorties.
Yeah, that's one thing I can say with all the dudes, you know, in my high school and just in shit. Just in general. I ain't never really hung around niggas that, I hung around a lot of niggas that fought. A lot. But never no women. We've got at dudes that do stuff like that. We've gotten in stupid situations. Well, it's not stupid because we're trying to help, really, but we've.
Oh, and he said he called her out of her name too. He called her a bitch. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I was like, you don't even curse. Like, he got outside of himself.
I was about to say something crazy.
I know.
Never mind.
I know you were. It was on the tip of your tongue. It's instinctual.
Because it's just like the way you're describing it. Yeah. I gotta know
what led.
I'm not touching.
What led to that escalation?
Like, you can say that. I'm not.
No, what transpired? Because again, to this day, I actually don't know what transpired between the two of them that was the root of the actual altercation, because there always is a beginning, right?
You would think so.
These things don't ever, well, unless you Ike Turner, you know what I'm saying? These things usually just don't come out of nowhere. You're just walking down the hallway and a backslap, you know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, it's natural to ask, like, what happened? Like, what led to that? But again, there's just nothing she could have said short of threatening his life that would have justified that kind of reaction. And so it was just, yeah, that was probably the wildest thing I've ever seen happen in my friend group.
High school, man. A lot of things happen in those hallways.
It's insane. If these walls could talk.
In between them periods, man.
It gets dicey.
You know?
It's a wild, wild west.
That's why I had 3 lockers. Because you just never know.
What? We're not getting into that. We're not going to get into that. Tell us in the comments below what's the shiciest things you ever seen happen in your friend group. Let us know in the comments below.
How many lockers did you have? No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
This guy is nuts. You were collecting territory like Monopoly.
Listen, man, it's convenient.
You didn't have nearly enough books to warrant 3 lockers.
I had enough books to put one book here, so I'm not late. That's what it was.
All right. That's wild. Okay, baby, did we do it?
I think we did it.
I think we did. If you guys have made it to this point, bravo. You should be proud of yourself. We appreciate you, okay? Again, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe.
Share that thing.
Share that thing. Find us on all of the things. Okay, the Instagram, the TikTok, of course, Avi, YouTube, okay, on the One Thing for Certain, like everywhere.
Everything,
right?
Yeah, everywhere.
Spotify, you know.
Indeed.
Go ahead and listen to us, okay? And we can't wait to see you guys again in the next episode. And no matter where you go after this, make sure you go with God.
Go with God.
Okay, it's One Thing for the One Thing for Certain podcast, y'all.
Deuces.
Peace. The one thing for